The following program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.
Hi, this is Representative Al Baldasaro, and I'm the co-host of Art of Politics, the only show like it's where a Republican gets to slap around a Democrat to try to get some nonsense in his head, to speak the facts.
You're so full of it.
We have Representative Ken Gidge.
Yeah, you're so full
Ken,
of it.
we got a special guest today.
You're so damn lucky that I
Yeah,
don't.
I know. If you ever heard the expression, strong like bull, smell like poop, that's what I'm dealing with right here. We have a special guest here, Representative Bart Fromuth from Bedford.
Yep.
Welcome.
Yes, how are you?
What brings you in today?
I haven't been on for about 3 or 4 weeks,
Yeah.
so I had a hankering to come back.
You're
on the
welcome.
show,
Everybody just
Well,
walk in.
since the last time you showed up and he wasn't here,
Well, that
and
was
he
two
blamed
times
you.
ago. Yeah, when,
Yeah.
when Ken had invited me on the show, we talked about it at the State House.
Well, you have to say yes.
He did say
I
yes.
did
I was
say
there.
yes.
He did say yes.
Al asked me. I said yes to Al.
Right.
And Al didn't tell
No,
you.
I told you.
She's not smart enough.
No,
pat me on the shoulder.
I was there. You
You're
pat
not,
him
you're
on the
not
back.
smart enough.
You
Al.
pat him on the
You
back.
ain't
You
never
said,
been
so
smart
I
enough.
showed
and then
up.
he talked bad
You
about
will
you on the
never
show.
be
I
smart
know.
enough.
I saw. But no,
All
I
right.
showed up and
We
Ken
just
wasn't
did about 3 minutes on why I didn't show up.
Yeah.
Okay, well, it's one thing. You're from Bedford.
here. Yes.
And they have a public access station there.
Yeah, we talk about this a lot. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
They can't talk about politics.
Wow.
Well, I can't express a political opinion.
Well,
You
that's
can't talk about
That's
politics.
stifling freedom of speech
Yeah,
there.
no, it's like a mini Venezuela.
Oh, I'd be.
You
for-
can't say.
I'd be getting a petition there and taking that
You
to the
can't
council.
say this Republican is a crazy person, like I say about him.
I can't. I cannot express a.
How come they don't get us a petition
Why?
there?
I just come down to Nashville. Or I go over to Goffstown on Birch Hill.
Right.
I get it out of my.
But I mean,
system
it's a
there.
shame in your own town in Bedford. I love Bedford. I love your restaurants.
It's a great town.
You know what I mean? I
And
can't
the
wait
people that
for.
run the TV station are great. I love them. It's just the rules that are set up are.
That's
But
not.
It's very
They-
boring.
Yeah, but that's stifling freedom of speech. That's what they're
Yeah,
doing.
that's
They're
exactly
stepping
correct.
on.
Well,
It-
I'll tell them.
Yeah.
Al
No.
Baldasaro is going to come up.
No,
Right.
public access.
I'm gonna come and take him
I
on.
think God can tell us later, or he may talk. But I think on public access, I think the rules and regulations are that you can express yourself. Is that a rule of the station, or is that a rule of your town fathers and mothers? Here it would be aldermen.
Right.
It's just I don't know who makes up the rules in Bedford.
Probably a
They're supposed
Democrat there. Don't
Most
want you
likely.
talking politics.
That's my suspicion.
No,
Because
Democrat would
Democrats.
want that.
Bedford is a conservative town. So the person they hired writes the SOP, the standard operation procedures. I don't want to confuse you. I'll go slow. Okay? So I'm willing to bet. If I was a betting man, I think we need to get the man with the plan in this studio, Dick, get him over there and do an investigation of what's going on with freedom of speech. Because he does a
We
great
get
job
like a
here in
camera
Nashua.
crew, a
Yeah.
Nashua
Yeah.
cable access camera crew to go over there and
Right.
and look into this.
And look into it.
We're afraid. I'm afraid if he goes over there, he'll get the job.
Yeah.
And he'll leave us. He'll send the
Right.
other guy back this way. Well, anyway, that's really too bad, because this is really, Al and I talk about it. This is like the only place that you really can say anything within reason.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I mean, like I said, Goffstown's pretty flexible.
Londonderry too.
Yeah.
Yeah, in my
Be
district.
talking Londonderry.
Yeah, Londonderry.
You know,
you
I
can-
went to his show. I did his show.
Yeah.
Right. So they thought they beat me up. I'm walking out, and the people in the control room go, "Thank God,
No,
somebody is here."
one person. He says people. One person. He's on the Democrat committee there in town. He does the camera. He volunteers.
Yeah.
Nice guy. But anyways, the only one that said he blew up his head. You know what I mean? It swells. So he's a legend in his own mind. You know what I'm saying?
Talking about legend in your own mind.
Bring it on, brother.
Excuse me. Do
Bring
you
it on.
have as he's on the phone, as you're here, you get a phone call. Can you do an interview at 5:30? Who's that for?
Well, that's out of the New York. Trying to think of the guy's name there. He does a Justin Curtis show. It's on WABZ. I've been on there before because
ABC?
WABC. It's out of New York. Justin Curtis. He's the guy that started the Guardians in New York there.
Justin
in the-
Curtis. Yes,
yeah,
yes.
So he has his radio show there, and every so often I go on and we talk about issues, pertaining to Trump and
You know what the
veterans and
Guardians
other.
Yeah.
He was too young then.
All right, tell him.
Yeah. But anyways,
Tell 'em.
years ago they were having a lot of issues in New York in the train stations and all that. You know, people getting mugged in the neighborhood. So they started this Guardian program, and this guy Justin started it.
Okay.
I think Justin served in the
Red
Marines.
hats.
Red hats, yeah.
Okay.
So they were all these volunteers. They were in the subways. They were in the streets in certain neighborhoods, stopping problems, breaking up fights and things like that. Did a great job in New York.
Really?
Yeah.
Really
They
got a lot
really-
of publicity.
they really
But
cleaned
then
up
he
New
got a
York
little,
City.
He got a little weird for a while, if I remember correctly.
I think he went Democrat. Yeah, you're right.
No, now he's really weird.
Yeah.
He's going to have you on.
Well-
and what are you going to talk about, Al?
We're probably going to talk about New Hampshire.
Yes.
and,
Excuse me. Isn't New Hampshire a great place to live, Bart?
I was on-
Isn't it one of the
I was on
greatest
CNN earlier.
cities and states in the entire
I love
world?
New Hampshire. Yes, it is.
Now it's drug infested.
Yes, it is.
Drug infested.
You know something?
Is that like cockroaches?
I want you to
infested?
go on my Facebook and read the stories of the people that lost children. Tell that to the mothers and fathers of those children. We don't have a bad drug problem in New Hampshire.
You know how you play this thing.
But it's the truth. It's
that
fact.
people are not.
How many of you know that
people
your
are
families,
not
right? That
stupid.
kids died.
No, I mean it's I know where you're going with it, obviously, but I don't understand why there's so much outrage when the president tells the truth about something. Maybe he puts it
The
in
truth.
Like, it is the
New
truth.
He
Hampshire's
said
drug
it-
infested.
He said it.
But
It
everybody
is.
seems to agree
But it
It's
about
is.
that.
drug infested.
But we all agree. Yes, we have a problem. Let me run
Yeah, we
something by
have
you.
a problem. You know something? You're a Republican.
How long you been a
Ladies and
legislator?
gentlemen, here's a Republican
Okay.
calling
4
New
years.
Hampshire drug
Okay.
infested.
Wait, listen to me. Listen to me for a
And-
second.
Oh, wait a minute. Wait.
Shut your mouth.
The president said he had drug infested.
Yes.
Oh, it's got to be drug infested.
He's 100% right.
We're 2 feet away from each other, so we can,
Right.
Yeah, all right.
4 years ago and 3 years ago, did we not come up with $42 million to stick into drug rehab to fix the drug program?
I think both sides of the aisle have discussed this at length in terms of our drug issues. We have the third highest amount of per capita deaths in the country because of drug reduction.
We were number one.
So
With
Okay,
drug
in the
infested.
country, people overdoses, almost 500 a year.
And how many suicide with
Do you
guns?
know since January?
23, 24 with guns?
The only data I
Suicide
got-
with
wait,
guns?
I thought we were talking about the drug
We're
infection.
talking
thing.
drugs.
Well, that's how he
We're
does
talking
it.
drugs.
He goes on
No,
another
no.
subject
Well,
all the time.
if he does something wrong,
Okay.
you shouldn't repeat it, right?
Now,
I mean,
didn't Mayor Gatzis there want to declare a state of emergency in New Hampshire last year?
No, he did not.
Yeah, he did. He went
No, he
after
didn't.
Governor Hassan.
No, he didn't.
You want me to show you the article in the Union
Yes,
Leader?
you look for it, and I will talk.
No, I got it right here. I
You
did
got
my
it right.
homework for him. I was prepared.
You don't
Now,
do your homework.
Didn't the drug czar, that Mayor Gatzis,
drug
we all went
czar.
after Governor Hassan's drug czars did nothing? He ended up resigning?
You know something?
Did he resign?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
well,
yeah.
so but like, look at it this way. I mean, you could admit that New Hampshire has a significant drug issue.
Yes.
Okay, so you probably just don't like the language that the president used
The language is poor.
in a private phone call.
I don't think it's
What
poor.
are you talking about? Private phone
It
call.
was between him and the Mexican president. He didn't just say this on like a stage.
He said New Hampshire is drug
In a
infested.
private
private
phone
drug.
call. In a private phone call about the drugs
So,
coming into our country.
wait a minute. Lock him up. Lock him up.
Who locked
Lock
him
him up. Lock him up.
See,
Lock him up.
You see what happens when you deal with an idiot?
Is this what he
Hey,
thinks about New Hampshire?
See what happens when you deal with an
wait
idiot?
a minute. Didn't he lose New Hampshire?
No,
He did lose New
He won the
Hampshire.
primary though. That's what he was referring to. I mean, it's. I don't think he's that confused.
You know, hold on a second. I've said this before. I'll do it quickly.
Yeah.
When I was one of the people, Hillsborough County, executive committee, and income 4.5 social workers, $465,000 they needed.
Yeah.
They saved $1.5 million. Judge walks in. The cop walks in, right? Teachers walk in. Everybody walks in and says, "We need them," right?
Yeah.
Save $1.5 million.
Mm-hmm.
They save $1 million. No, we want to save $465,000. So let's get rid of them. Forget about the $1 million they're going to save. But do you know why I bring that up?
Why?
Because
you're an
they
idiot.
were the ones that were on the front line, and they would have seen this way in advance, and they would have saved lives. But that's how the Republicans did it.
You wanna know
They
something?
lied. They said they were
You're not
saving
being-
money.
No.
They were
You're not telling the
spending
truth.
money.
No, you're not telling the truth. That's a bunch of BS. First of all,
It wasn't BS.
You know something?
What do you know? You weren't
you
there.
know some here in New
You weren't
Hampshire.
there.
Here in New Hampshire,
You're
we
not
put
even in Hillsborough County.
$42 million, okay, in the drug program. You all vetoed it. We put 25 beds at the VA hospital. You all vetoed the bed.
No.
The budget.
Excuse me.
You vetoed. Did you veto the budget?
Excuse me.
Did you veto it?
We vetoed the budget.
Okay.
In the budget, there was what?
The only thing that was taken out, all the spending.
Sorts of other things.
Like what? Like
that
what?
you wanted.
Like what? What do we want? Tell me.
Oh, let's say
Like
making
what?
it illegal for a woman to have an abortion.
No, that was not
and
in there.
on
That was
and
not in
on
there.
and
You just
on
lied again.
and on
You just
and
lied
on.
again.
That's
that was
what
not
you
there.
wanted.
You're a liar.
Did you pay? Did you?
You're a liar.
Did you?
No.
Excuse me.
Wait.
Did you do the budget? Okay.
But
go
the
ahead.
back and forth though.
You just lied.
I think both parties care about the drug crisis. Like the finger pointing and saying.
Your party
like,
just did nothing.
I think both parties care.
Just so I heard.
No, I'm just saying.
No,
that,
I agree. Both parties care, but they
But,
did
like,
nothing.
Just so I
again-
heard.
What?
I can understand what you're saying. He's gonna whisper something to me.
Kiss my foot.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead. Go ahead.
I just think, at the end of the day, again, we get on this topic because you're talking about, again, a private phone call the president had with President Nieto down in Mexico.
Something like Hillary Clinton would have, and you would bring it up, private phone calls or emails. Is that how it went?
What do you, I don't know. What do you mean?
Okay, but did he mention New Hampshire?
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he said
Yeah.
New Hampshire's drug infested.
I agree with
It's
him.
True.
We are. In fact, can you accept the fact that we got almost 500 people a year dying?
Do you know what?
Do you know
No,
up until...
that's
Yo,
not true now. That's not true.
Last
That's not
year's
true.
numbers, you telling me
That's
that-
not true. That wasn't 500 people. That wasn't true. I think it went up to as much as 4 something, and then we said, but the Republicans took them a long time to get the money in. You were running it.
No, that's not true.
You guys were running it.
You vetoed the budget.
You were running
You
it.
vetoed.
You couldn't even get
your
one
governor.
thing through.
Governor Hassan vetoed the budget. Now, Governor Hassan gave the Democrats permission. 3 months later, they compromised. You know what the compromise was? The only change to the budget was pay raises. Meanwhile, 3 months, no contracts, no drug rehab, no
And you know
drug
something?
money for the
And
police.
for 3 years, you
You know
didn't
something?
have the 4.5 social workers who could have stopped that.
You know, that's not
That is wrong.
3 social workers in Hillsborough
4.5.
County. Are you believing this garbage? Are you listening to this garbage?
No, these were the worst of the worst.
Are you listening?
I wasn't there when,
Yeah.
so I can't speak to your social
right.
worker comment. I have to go fact check that.
Yeah, okay.
Do some research. No, but I again, just getting back to the issue at hand, everyone's making a huge deal about this and talking as though like the president hates the state of New Hampshire or something like that, and that's far from it. If you actually read the transcript of the conversation
right.
with President Nieto, what he says is, they're looking to me. The reason I won New Hampshire in that huge field of people in that primary is because of the fact that I said I was going to do something to quell the opioid epidemic, and all these drugs are coming through your country. So you better knock it off and help me build that wall. That's basically the context of the conversation.
That was a conversation.
Go
he
read the
didn't
transcript.
use drug infested.
He did in the context of that conversation, saying the reason I won New Hampshire is because they get such a drug epidemic over there.
Drug infested.
Drug infested.
Okay.
That they're looking to someone that's really serious
and
about solving it.
they got that. Who gave them that message, by the way?
Okay. I'm not,
The Mexican.
I wanna read
How
you
did they
something.
get that phone call,
hey,
by
Clown,
the way?
I want to read you something.
They talk on the telephone.
Yes, I know, but
Hey.
who got the phone call?
It was in January, so it's possible it was one of those Obama unmasking situations where they're spying on.
Yeah,
Oh,
spying on him. Yeah, they were spying on him.
Let me see. I think
Right.
the president has something to do with Russia.
Yeah,
Would
but
you
it was a
agree?
phone call.
There
What does
you
the phone
go.
call-
There
what
you
does the phone
go
call with
again.
Mexico have to do with that?
You know something? Have you been seeing in the news here? They've been all
I don't-
this
I don't
stuff
watch
there.
the news anymore,
I
but-
watch the news because I decipher what is BS like him and what is fact. Okay? They said over Trump's not being investigated. They've been saying over all the past, even Obama's past secretary said, intel guys and everything, he's not being investigated. Comey said he wasn't being investigated. The Democrats have nothing to talk about, so they got to talk about Russia. CDC, here. I went to CDC, so you'll believe
what's
this here.
CDC?
Okay?
A, B, C, D, E, CDC, what?
Okay, 1 second here.
What's CDC?
Hold on, he's reading an article.
Just 1
He's gotta
second, I'm
get
just
back.
trying to
Everybody
find
and I-
something.
He's reading an article.
Yeah. No, someone
Okay.
who's there reading it to
Opiate
him. He's got a
prescription and
little thing in
illicit
his ear.
are the main driver of drug overdoses deaths. Opiates were involved in 33,091 deaths in 2015. It quadrupled from 1999. Now, the most states, West Virginia, 41.5 per 100,000. New Hampshire, 34.3 per 100,000. Kentucky, 29.9, okay, on deaths that are here in New
You
Hampshire.
know something? Let us. I think, Bart, you make a point. I think what we're arguing
Oh, the Center
about,
for Disease Control and Prevention, that's what that
Okay.
was.
I think we're arguing about we didn't do it fast enough. I think everybody agrees that somewhere along the
Right.
line, the state, and that's Republicans and
No,
Democrats.
we're not going to take the
Oh,
blame.
yes.
The governor has been Democrat for 16 years.
You're not listening to me.
The governor.
You're not listening
The
to me.
governor.
Why don't you
No,
listen to me?
you won't accept the
You
facts.
listen to me. He's
Okay.
He doesn't listen to me
I
at
don't
all.
listen to you. Maybe Bob might listen to you. I
am
won't.
saying.
Tell me and
to
I'll
you.
tell Al.
All right, okay. I am saying that both Republicans and Democrats dropped the ball. And you should have known this before when you guys were in.
Who does Health and
running
Human
it.
Services come
You
under?
should have known it before.
Who does the
then.
Commission of Health and Human Services come under? What branch?
I don't know.
The executive branch. Who does what
What
does
has
the
that got to do with it?
because we give the governor the money.
What?
They
No,
run
no,
the
no,
drug
no, no.
programs.
We're talking about bringing it to light, getting everybody to talk about it.
You're right.
You guys didn't do any
We
good.
finally have
Did
a
he
governor.
do any good? He didn't do any good.
We finally have a governor who got the contracts up and running for the drug rehabs. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, no, I mean, I think there's been focus in just, again, being fair, like
Governor
Sununu's
Sununu.
had to put a big focus on it, and I think Governor Hassan had some focus on it too, with some of the projects she was working on. I think the real, to me, the fault of the legislature was passing those restrictions on opioid prescriptions
Right.
and renewals,
Yes.
because
I voted against that.
we used to have a problem with people just getting on pain pills.
Right.
And then all of a sudden, we made it really, really difficult for doctors to continue prescribing those, especially for people that really needed them, such that people couldn't go to
We
the doctor. We overregulated.
Yes.
And I get that the intention was good, but what happened was it created a situation where people that never otherwise would
do you
people
know-
that never otherwise would turn to the street for street drugs started to because they couldn't get it from their own doctors.
Okay, and you want to know something?
Yeah.
That's factual.
Right.
Okay.
And so, but who did this? Us.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
We signed. We did it. You.
Let me ask you.
Me.
No.
I wasn't.
It's
legislative.
the law.
I voted against that bill.
You don't wait. Let's
the
see it.
Democrats
Let's see it. Let's see it.
You know, so I'm not going to waste my time, which I'm telling you right now. Believe me, that I voted against it. The Democrats put it in 2009. Okay.
What are you talking about?
Because they're the ones that put what you said. What they did, they took away the 90-day prescriptions on
Excuse me.
on
And then they had
painkillers,
like a monitoring system
Right.
where like doctors would
and
get
they stuck
flagged.
it. They stuck it to the seniors because now the seniors have to pay more in co-payments to get their medication. I went to the floor on it, okay, to speak. I've been there 11 years.
You know what you're talking
I
about.
know exactly what
No,
I'm
you
talking
don't.
about.
The major harm came from the system they have in place where if you go for your renewal, it's a much higher threshold to
Okay.
get the renewal of your pain pills. And that was where this problem really started across multiple states because they had model legislation
Yeah.
that they were pushing in Republican and Democrat states. So this is the legislature is trying to solve the pain pill problem.
You know, I have to tell you, I know somebody. This, in fact, I'm glad he's still alive. Okay. But what happened was he had to go to the doctor to get the prescription,
Right.
and he's like in bed. It would take almost an ambulance to get him there.
This is
Okay.
January 8th.
So the doctor came over.
Yeah.
Wrote him the prescription at his house. Now, I got a question.
Yeah.
If he would have said to me, call the doctor, said, I'm sending in Ken Gidge to get my prescription, he's going to drop it off at the drugstore and pick it up for him.
Yeah.
So he would be responsible, the doctor,
Right.
all right? But he would believe the individual who needed the medicine. In
Okay.
other words,
I got to run you something
Go
by
ahead.
you real quick here. Okay, how I do my homework.
you don't do your
March,
homework.
okay, March 2nd, okay, of 2016, Gatz-Hassan, again, clash over, this is union leader, clash over drug emergency declaration. Mayor Gatz came to us as legislators and the governor declaring he needs help. He has a lot of debts in Manchester, people dying in the streets, at the parks, and other areas. They clashed over it. Hassan did nothing. It's right there in it's right there in the article.
You know something
No,
else.
I'm not
You know
done.
something. You're running the
I'm
full.
not done.
Hold on a second. You're running the House.
I'm not done.
400.
No, no.
And you can't do anything.
No, the executive
you
branch.
are a bad
You're an
politician.
idiot.
He's
You're
a bad
an idiot.
politician.
Read who
You're
controls
better than
the
he
executive
is.
branch.
Twice as good as he
Hey,
is.
the executive
Oh, yeah,
branch,
here he
my
goes
friend,
again.
controls it.
You
Now,
don't know.
Real quick, January 8,
You have anything in your pocket
2017.
to show him?
Hey, January 8, 2017. New Hampshire Hotspot Report. This is Union Leader. Dartmouth College researchers are trying to find out why New Hampshire has the highest per capita fentanyl death rate in the country and why the state historically has always had a problem with addiction. Okay? Right there. Union Leader. Just so you know, look at what's gone on in the past. I don't forget nothing.
I have a question. I have a question to ask
You know what I'm saying?
Excuse me.
I hear both sides of it.
I have a question to ask you.
I have an answer.
Of course, she had a Democratic majority, right?
Yeah.
No, it was you guys,
Republican.
the
No.
Republicans, for God's sake, and you couldn't do anything.
No.
How weak
No.
you are!
Listen,
are
we-
you telling me one
No.
Democrat
You know some-
beats up
Can you-
300
Ken,
Republicans?
you can't be an idiot. You can't be that stupid.
Yeah, I'm not that stupid.
The legislator does the budget. They give the money to the governor. It goes to Health and Human Services and Health and Family Law, Children and Family and all these other groups there. It's the governor who divvies out and is responsible.
All right.
All the commissioners work for the governor.
Okay.
What don't you understand?
I have.
Who approves the contracts for these?
Okay, Al.
Wait, do you know who
Let's
approves the
move on.
contract? No,
Let's go to the subject.
because he don't want the truth. He don't want the
Al.
truth.
It's the governor and the executive.
Let's go
council.
on.
So, in
to
other
another
words, the
subject.
legislator gives the money, and the executive council and the governor approves
Yes.
the contracts, right?
That's accurate.
So those drug rehabs that were held off for 3 months because the budget was vetoed, we gave her a compromise pay raises. The Democrats finally voted on the budget, right? Then it took another 3, 4, 5 months before the contracts went in place.
Yeah, I mean, that was a bad look when
Call it-
all they gave was the state employee raises.
Right.
For the
Call it for what it is, the truth. Don't try to BS.
That was probably a bad look. But again, I don't see.
But stop being a nice guy.
Oh no, but I mean, just being honest, like I look at, it's not like either party is like unconcerned with what's going on, but at the same
Right.
time, like how many more people do we have to go out there and shout from the mountaintops? Like obviously these drugs are very, very bad
Yep.
for you. People continue to get them, but some of the real solutions are, I think, rolling back some of those regulations we put in place where doctors
Right.
can't be doctors.
I agree.
They do their job. I'm not a doctor. You're not a
No,
doctor.
I
Right.
understand
Al's
what you're
not a
saying.
doctor.
We got the same problem with the VA that's going on.
But you know, there are some Republicans who've been there a long time and Democrats who are influential, who got in the middle of this
You cannot-
and took people with
you
them
cannot
from
blame
both
Democrats
sides,
in the
and
House.
that was wrong. In other words,
You know something?
a person
Ken.
individually,
Ken.
no one ever stood
Ken.
up and gave everyone
Ken,
at
that's
the
not
House
true.
floor hell.
Ken, you're not being truthful,
And
Ken,
if they
on the
would have done
process.
that,
Ken, You're not being truthful. You think people are stupid watching this show? It's not the Democrats and the Republicans in the House, because even though they vetoed the governor vetoed the budget, we give the money in the budget.
Well, okay,
If
Trump.
the executive,
All right, okay.
branch, the governor
All right.
has to don't spend
So
the money
do you
right.
Think, do you
That's
think
not our
New
fault.
Hampshire? Excuse me. Do you think
He hates the truth,
New
see?
Hampshire is drug infested?
Do you hate the
Yes.
Do you?
truth? Do you hate the truth?
Do you?
Yes, he
oh,
hates
I
the
love
truth.
the truth. Do
Yeah.
you think it's drug infested?
Yes,
Yes,
No.
I do.
I do.
It's not
I
drug
do.
infested.
That's 2-1.
I do.
Yeah, okay.
You know something? You all live in a can. Hear no evil,
yeah,
see
it's
no
drug
evil, speak no
infested.
evil.
Oh, yeah.
They're like the three
No,
monkeys.
if Hillary Clinton had said that in a private
that's
phone
awful.
call, you'd be like, well, that's
that's true. They got problems.
It's because it's Trump. I mean, it is because it's
Yeah,
Trump.
that's the only reason.
Oh, and they haven't picked on Hillary, of course.
No, I'm just saying.
They're still yelling.
I'm just saying
lock her up.
if-
And who's going to go to
wrong with that?
jail is going to be Trump.
What's
No,
wrong?
I'm just saying.
my
I'm just saying.
God.
Had
You know
a prominent
some-
Democrat said it.
Hey, you
You know
owe
how
me.
stupid
You
Trump
owe me
is.
12.
You-
hey,
they had to
you know how cheap
argue
he is.
with-
Hey, you know how cheap
that guy
he is,
is
Bart.
so
You know how cheap
stupid.
he is. I bet him 12 times already. I don't know, but maybe 10 on lunches, on things, on sources that come up in this here.
Yeah.
He's lost every time.
Really, with those well-written.
He owes me 10 lunches or whatever. No, those there, what comes out of the TV.
It's his ass.
Hey, what comes out of the TV? They read between the lines. What it could have said.
Sometimes I look at the sheet and they'll just say something completely
Yeah,
different than what's.
that's right. Yeah,
So,
but he reads between the lines.
you know,
They'll say, I've got it right.
Yeah.
but
He knows you. He
the
hasn't done that many
reason
shows.
why you're not watching TV is because
He's spending time with his
Fox
children.
is number 3.
How many young
MSNBC
kids
is
you have?
number 1.
I've got two.
Two young ones.
Two young.
CNN is
He's a
number
good
2.
He's a good father. He's
and
spending time
guess
with his children.
what? Fox is at the bottom.
No, they're not. Show me where
They're
you.
at the bottom,
No, he's
number
got-
3.
you know-
It's right here.
Yeah, yeah, it's on
On
the
the
sheet.
ass.
Yeah,
It's in
there he
bottom
goes
at the
again with the
bottom.
BS. Matter of fact,
That's just a picture of a TV you drew.
hey, what was it? Disneyland or something that was ahead of CNN? I couldn't remember.
General Kelly. Do you think General Kelly was a good choice by Trump?
Yeah,
Why?
I like General Kelly.
Quickly.
Because General Kelly was an honorable general. He served our country honorably. He was great on
I
the
got that.
intel.
I got that. I mean, is he good for the president?
Yes.
Why?
Yes. I just, you know
No,
something?
why?
Get the poop out of your mouth.
Did
Let
he
me
did he
finish.
stop?
Why don't you shut
Yeah.
up for a
Did
minute?
he stop people from
Shut
running
up
into
for a
the
minute.
office?
Shut up for a
You see,
minute.
all he has to do is
he fired
general.
General.
You know, shut up for a
General,
minute.
right?
Shut up for a minute. Let me finish. First of all, he had nothing to do with people running out of the president's office. Okay, General Flynn, you're talking, right? General Flynn.
No, we're talking
Now,
Kelly,
now
who
General
is-
Kelly, who just
is
took
the
over money.
president's
I thought he
chief
said
of staff.
General Flynn,
Oh, no, Chief of Staff. Now.
Chief of
Chief
Staff.
of Staff.
Right,
So
Chief.
you're for rent.
Didn't
Yes.
he say General Flynn?
I
No.
thought he said Kelly.
No,
Oh,
I said
okay, I
Kelly.
missed that. I mean,
No, it's right here. It's
Yeah.
not Flynn. It's
Okay.
Kelly.
General
I know
Kelly.
the difference between an F and a K.
General Kelly is the longest serving general in the
Look,
country.
what has that got to do with what we're
General
trying to
Kelly
talk
is
about?
a very organized,
You
strategic
know
guy.
something?
You
He's
asked me.
like something you wind him
You
up. and
asked
he
me
goes.
questions.
General Kelly, we're trying to talk about the chief
Well,
of
hear
staff.
what he has to say, and then
Here.
you
He
can
won't
dissect.
stop though.
You just asked me about General Kelly.
Having
We'll give him
fun,
the
Bart.
20.
You
We'll
know?
give him the
All
29.
right, Bart.
You asked a question, you never let anyone answer
You know,
it.
I'm getting a bell go ding.
You know, you asked a question, you never let anyone answer it.
All right, General Kelly is the new chief of staff for
just started
Trump.
Monday.
Why is he good?
I just tried telling you.
You say he was organized.
He's
got a
organized. He's a
distinguished
strategic
career.
planner. He's got a 40-year service of our country there.
Okay.
Okay.
Let me help you out.
Okay, help me out there.
The
Go ahead.
first-
Give me the Democrat
the
view.
mooch.
Give me the
Got
Democrat.
rid of the mooch
Yeah, that was-
immediately.
that was great. That guy was crazy.
Oh, it was absolutely nuts.
Yeah.
And by the way, there was another general who fired somebody, but I guess
McMaster.
it was a
McMaster.
couple people. Yes.
Okay.
Master should get fired.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
and
think he
so
should
in
go.
turn, the general
I think-
let the other general fire him.
I think General
Nobody
McMaster
is
should
allowed
go.
in the office. They must go through.
That's the way it should be.
Which is the way it should be,
As a-
including the kids. But why couldn't they do this in
You
the
know,
first place?
Well, actually, I think
Oh, you know, give it a break.
the open
will
door
you?
policy I thought was kind of a cool idea at first.
Right.
It hadn't been done before. And so he tried it. It didn't work. But in theory, it was
the
kind of,
open door
Yeah.
policy was
well,
good.
the problem is if you have a chief of staff that has like an iron lock basically on anybody getting to see the
Right.
president, he only hears basically the
From
perspectives
the chief of staff. That's
of
right.
the chief of
Yeah,
staff and the
right.
people the chief of staff wants to get through. So I understand why Trump, especially not being a politician, would want an open door policy. it turned into kind of a
So you
crazy place.
so you get a lot done. You know, like there's so many people. What is it? The State Department is like 25 to 30%.
You know, some
Needs more
First
people.
of all,
you don't run in with a newspaper and say, "Oh, look, this is what Hillary did. Let's blame her for
I talk with Corey
something."
Lewandowski, and I talk with people that work at the White House here. The news makes it worse than it is.
Yeah.
Donald Trump is a source type of guy. Go right to the source and talk to people. Okay? You still have Obama holdovers that are there.
Absolutely.
That are running their mouth on every little thing and making it
releasing
worse.
transcripts of
Right.
phone calls.
On classified information, releasing stuff there. They're making it worse than it is. Okay? I've been to the White House.
Excuse me,
I've been there twice already.
It can't get any
Okay.
worse than it was. It's only got
You know,
better.
you're only hearing
Kelly
BS.
came in as a general,
Yeah, so?
and he was the.
I'm a first sergeant, so what?
And said,
So what?
And said to little boy Trump,
Yeah.
"You mind me,
That's what you're
or
hearing.
I'm walking out."
Where are you hearing this stuff?
You mind me,
Where
or
are
I'm walking out.
Where are you hearing this stuff?
When you hear,
Were you in the meeting?
Yes,
his
sources.
daughter can't walk in without going.
Where
through
are you
Kelly.
hearing this stuff? Wait, where are
Huh?
you hearing this stuff? Where do you get this information
Yeah.
from?
Yeah.
Where do you get your information?
and
Show me your
Kelly-
source.
So-
Hey,
The chief of staff calls up.
What
hopefully
he's doing
The Secretary
is
of State says,
assuming
"Hey, your job is
what the-
okay," but the
what the
president
jur-
say he's a nut.
you're assuming. You know what assume means? An ass out of
here
you
we
and me.
go.
That's what assume means.
All right.
Okay? Show me your sources.
You know, I got. All right.
Hopefully he has a
Are
good-
you happy Kelly's there?
Yeah, absolutely.
Are you happy Kelly's there?
Yeah,
I
I
am
am.
absolutely thrilled
I
Kelly's
am.
there. In fact, I said to my wife, "You're going to watch such a damn change
I hope so.
because he is going to walk in there and he's going to give some orders
Yeah.
and Trump is going to follow him."
Well, you know
And when he went, this guy Mooch out, a couple other people out, door is locked. You come
know
through
something?
me, and you want to know something?
Ken,
He has.
Ken, you're watching too
That's
much of
what
this,
he needs.
this
He
BS.
He
Hey,
needs professional people to
no.
tell him.
No, he don't. The man
Yeah,
did.
he does.
The man did not get to where he is today because he lacks knowledge or lacks.
No, I mean,
you know?
I agree with you that he didn't get to where he is as president, but I
Right.
think now that he's president, to get to the next
Yeah,
level.
the next
Right.
level, yeah.
I
But
think
listen,
Kelly's
but listen
necessary.
to me where I'm going to go with this here. First of all, you're listening to the news reporters. Okay, you're listening to the CNN and all the people that hate him. You're listening to the Obama.
What does that got to do with what we're talking about?
Because they're not giving the real
We
truth
just
of what's
agreed
going
that
on.
Kelly was good.
But what
Is
I'm
that
trying to tell
okay?
you, but what I'm trying
Kelly's
to tell
bad.
you, but everything else you said
Huh?
in between,
Is Kelly bad?
everything else you said
Can
in between
we go
was
one
BS.
way or the other? Okay, we all agree Kelly is good.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So has our president stopped doing the tweets just a little?
No.
I don't know.
He's still
I'm not on.
tweeting.
I've
No.
been following him on Twitter.
No, he still tweets.
Very little.
No, that's not true.
Very
I
little.
retweet all
And
his
in-
tweets.
And in fact,
That is not true.
Yeah,
Here you go again.
When was the last time you tweeted out? Hold on. Let's just.
I'll
see
tell you
what-
right now, the last
No.
time he tweeted.
No, there's a difference
wanna know the last time?
between tweeting and making sense or accusing people. What does it say? The last time.
4 hours ago.
Go ahead.
Before that, it was 7 hours
Four-
ago.
read what 4 hours ago.
7 hours.
Read
he
what
put
it
out
says.
8 hours ago.
Read what it says.
4 hours ago. No matter the mission, the brave men and women of our U.S. Coast Guard proudly answer the call, because today's their birthday, by the way. Happy birthday to the U.S. Coast Guard. Thank you and happy birthday, he sent out.
There you
Tweeted
go.
out. Now, look
Is-
at all the tweets.
is that-
He tweets all the time. I tweet.
Is that a little different than what he was doing?
No, like what?
Well, no.
Like
Occasionally,
what?
occasionally he'll go into one of these phases where he's.
Occasionally.
No. Occasionally, where he just tweets like niceties.
Yeah, and the world thinks we're
You know
idiots.
some? You want to know why
And
he
then,
had?
and then
We're idiot infested.
First of all, he has at one
First of
tweet.
all, you don't know first.
He's got over 35.1 million followers.
So what?
On his Facebook, he has about 45 million people on his Facebook. The liberal media is tearing him up
Bieber has
on
more
every
than
little thing.
that.
The liberal media will not put out what he says.
The liberal
This is a way.
media?
This is a way.
Oh,
Shut up
wait
for
a-
a second.
wait a
I'm not
minute. The
done.
liberal
Shut up for a
media?
second. I'm not done.
The liberal media.
The
Who's
liberal media, CNN,
New York
MSNBC,
Times,
ABC, New York
CNN.
Times, Washington Post.
Oh, how about Fox?
You know,
I
Fox
also,
has two sides.
I also think
Republican
that-
and Democrat.
I also think it's important to note. I mean, it's not just the liberal media, who remember, I mean, CNN did publish a report about him with some hookers.
They got fired too.
Right, a dossier.
Two guys got
So-
fired.
Right.
Yeah.
That was pretty bad.
And they did.
Yeah,
Yeah,
that
that
is.
was.
I also think it's the Republican establishment is
Right.
also
It's
doing
against
everything
them.
they can
The never Trumpers.
to run him
Right.
out of office.
I agree. The never Trumpers.
It's an agenda that was actually quite popular across the country.
I
They're just having a hard time
got a
implementing.
question to ask you. If
Probably a stupid
we
one, but
have
go
a
ahead.
Republican here who stands up for the Republican president, who's considered already the worst president, who's not going to make it through 4 years, why is
do you
his
think-
own party trying to get rid of him?
No,
Because
no.
he took it over. I mean, he's taking the power away from the Bushes and the
The
Christies
lobbyists
and the lobbyists.
they don't have their foot in the door at the
So-
White House
Romneys and
anymore.
McCain.
And how do you get something done?
Well, the point is that our party was failing us, so we looked outside of it.
Oh, wait a minute.
What?
I know how you get something
Oh, here
done.
we go. Watch the BS.
Are you ready
listen,
for this?
Listen to the.
Are you ready for this?
You've already
Ladies
lost
and
many
gentlemen,
houses
this is
throughout
how
the
you
country.
get people to
Drum roll.
vote.
Drum roll.
All right, you get
Yeah, give the BS.
you get
Throw it.
500 people to vote that the president of the United States cannot
Yeah.
take any of the sanctions away from Russia. That's how you get them to vote, because they don't trust them.
And you want to know what's
Both
a disgrace?
sides don't trust
You
them.
want to know something? You want to know what's a disgrace?
Is that true?
We had this
I hope-
conversation
Is that
2
true?
weeks ago.
I hope Trump
the two
challenges.
senators, it was 98
No, they
to
didn't.
2.
They just voted on it.
98 to 2, two senators were Rand Paul and Bernie Sanders that voted against the Russia sanctions
Yeah.
bill.
Do you know why I hope Trump
It only
cha-
makes our relations with Russia worse. I mean, I don't understand what the point of it is.
Because they don't trust the president?
No,
No,
because
it's because they
Because
want
he's a
to
crazy
they want to
person?
keep a Cold War
He's
status.
he's a
going
crazy
on.
person.
you want to know something. First of all, I hope Trump's AG challenges in court, because per the Constitution, it's the president's responsibilities for the safety of the country. I believe Congress is overstepping their boundaries when they did
Well, I
this
think
here.
they have the ability to ratify, approve treaties, and
Right.
um,
They do that. But the thing is, they're overstepping their boundaries into the. It's supposed
First
to be an
time
equal
in
branch
history.
into the
History
executive
of our
branch.
Constitution.
So, I
Wish
think
you
there's
have
some
a
issues
book.
here.
Where's the Constitution?
It's in my pocket.
History of your Constitution.
You don't
we
even
can
have a
write
clue.
something up.
No, I don't need to write anything up. There you go. See, that's the
Both
Democrats' way.
Republicans and Democrats.
Yep.
530
I'm disgusted.
something to
I'm
5 or
I'm
6
disgusted over it.
voted against
you're
him.
kind of I'd put you more in that moderate Democrat camp. You know.
No, he's not. He's a liberal. He's a progressive.
Well, then by today's
He's
standards,
got you baffled.
By today's standards, Ken is pretty moderate. I'd say by today's standards.
By today's standards.
By today's standards.
Yeah.
You know, probably in the 90s, you probably
Wow.
locked yourself up with the.
No, I did not.
Did you see his
I
HR?
did- I did-
Hey,
I didn't-
Did you
I
see his
couldn't read it in the
HR?
90s.
Did you see his HRA score? He's like a 20.
Okay.
That's pretty good these days. That's excellent.
Would you please finish?
So my point being is that there was a time when you guys would take a look at the makeup of the country and why you lost certain races, and you put candidates forward like Bill Clinton, who were moderate, and they would adopt some Republican policies like welfare reform,
Right.
tax cuts, and so on and so forth. But like that guy this time around, I think probably running in the primary was Jim Webb, who was by far
I thought he was a good guy,
the
Jim Webb.
best candidate
Yeah,
you guys had.
That's right.
But instead
I
of
actually like Jim Webb.
embracing a candidate like that,
They went.
you guys gave him like
Socialism.
half of a percent of the vote, and the thought process is let's just go as far left as possible. So I agree that Trump is not having the greatest 6 months of all time.
Greatest.
Because
No,
he's
it's the
attacked.
worst 6 months
No,
of all
he's
time.
But hear me out. Hear me out.
It's the
But
worst 6 months.
But in order to capitalize that, you should be looking at candidates that can appeal to a lot of the working class voters
They
that
are.
backed Trump. But you're not.
I
doing
But
that.
they are. They got Pelosi.
I think Pence is already ready. Okay.
They got Pelosi.
I think they're already
You know
talking to
something?
the
But
Republicans
the working class,
because
the
he's
working class
going.
voters, the working class voters,
Because Trump can't stay.
In 3.5 years,
not staying.
you're going to be saying the same thing.
You
Trump
want to
is
bet
staying there.
$100?
Trump is saying that.
Let's
yeah.
bet $100.
Yeah, I want $100.
Trump will not go
Trump will
full
not.
time. You
Trump
wanna
will
get
be the
in on
4
this?
year. 4 year. Nope.
I hope,
Do you wanna get
I hope
in
he
this?
does. I'm just worried about
$100?
Republicans
Hey,
turning on him.
I'm never going to see it because he
But
probably don't have
you
100.
don't know.
No.
Here's a Republican, ladies and gentlemen, who will not bet on
You know,
the president.
Because
Dave.
it's in their interest to turn on Trump because he has taken control of the party away from
He already owes me $100 there to the Liberty House, right? That Hillary would be the president. He lost.
gotta pay
Hillary's
out.
not the
I
president.
got to pay up.
I got to pay
Okay.
Yeah, I know.
No, he
I gotta
won't.
pay up.
Just to give you an idea how he is.
Scribble a note down.
I will not pay out.
You see what I'm saying?
You,
No,
He's a typical Democrat.
No.
Yeah, it's true. I heard Democrats don't pay their debt.
Right.
This is known.
Did you see the study about Democrats? Did you see
pay
Did you see the study of Democrats are the worst tippers?
Excuse me.
Did you see that study?
I did see that study.
Tell me about that.
I
Hey.
love it. Democrats don't pay. Let's see. Trump 4
What? Or what?
places that he just
You know something?
didn't pay his
are you just-
bills.
Many are
all
de-
these people
many are
coming
Democrats.
forward, being sued 10,000
Right.
times for not
But-
paying his
but
bills.
many Democrats here want everything for nothing. They want to give away the house and they
How-
want to be
how
able
in
to
the
tax
world?
more money.
How in the world can you lose money at a casino? Come on.
A lot of them are.
He went
A lot of-
bankrupt.
A lot of them do.
Yeah,
A
Yeah,
lot
he
of them
went
have.
Atlantic City
bankrupt.
is pretty much all bankrupt.
All
Remember
of them.
Vegas back in like the
A lot of
70s?
them. A lot of them went bankrupt. It's not just Trump.
You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah, I know what I'm talking about. You just
but-
don't want to
but
accept
getting
the
back
fact.
to
Major
why
bankruptcies.
don't you guys look for more moderate candidates that are appealing to the working class? Because I got to be honest, you knock out Trump and then you get Pence, and I don't really think Pence gets Wisconsin, Pennsylvania, Michigan
Yeah,
to
I
vote
agree.
for him.
I agree.
And that the Republican Party is
I
filled.
know. You know
Do you
something.
see the people that are showing up at the Trump
Absolutely,
rallies?
that's
You
a
know-
problem for you guys because
He's going to keep doing it for the next 4 years.
Hold on.
The
Hold
Demo-
on.
Look at the Democrat governor that just switched over.
Hey,
What
no,
say you?
CNN didn't even cover it.
How come?
Hold on a minute.
You know about you? Do you even
Can you
know about
imagine-
that?
Don't
Now, wait,
you
do
talk
you even imagine-
about the people going to the Trump
Oh, yeah?
rallies
Oh, you touched the nerve.
who are
Okay.
sane.
Yeah, okay.
Because the majority of
Yeah.
them are freaking nuts, and you know it.
It's-
I go
no,
to those
no,
rallies.
No,
Am I
no.
nuts?
Yes,
The
you
ones,
are.
the ones that
For a moment, you change your hat.
See, there you
put
go.
on makeup,
There you go with
wear
the
your
Democrats.
dress.
Just like deplorables with Hillary Clinton, right?
Deplorable.
The Democrats calling Republicans, Independents, Democrats, they're nuts
But
because they
can
support it.
you imagine?
But he got the votes.
Can you imagine
In the States,
Can you
needed.
imagine if a Republican governor switched to Democrat yesterday? It would be all over
Oh, yeah.
every TV station, every paper.
What do you say about
CNN
that?
didn't even cover it.
What do you say about that? You probably don't know about it because
I don't know. Okay, who is it?
Because CNN
It's
didn't cover it.
it's John what's his Jason no,
Justin.
Justice
Justice.
down
Right.
in West Virginia. He
Yeah.
went from a Democrat to a Republican.
He was at the rally last night. He spoke in
Okay,
with
John
Trump.
Justice, who
Yeah.
was
I
a
think it's John,
D,
but it's
He was a
definitely
D.
Justice.
went to an R.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right there.
Yep.
Look him up.
Oh,
You got
geez.
your thing. Look up Justice.
Why? You don't-
Justice is easy.
you don't believe
can
it?
spell Justice.
You don't believe it?
No. You know why he doesn't believe it? Because he hasn't heard about it yet.
Yeah. He didn't watch CNN.
Because MSNBC isn't
Right.
reporting it.
Yeah, they're not reporting.
No,
That's
so
why you
go
don't know.
Pull up Fox News.
Yeah.
Are you kidding me?
That's why he's right.
Pull up Judge Report for
A
it.
Democrat in New Hampshire went over to the Republican side,
No.
and I had 5 Republicans asking
He
me
won't
to
believe
change
Judge
bodies.
Report.
Yeah,
You-
because you're one of the few people that actually, has some moderate blood in you. So
Yeah, no, I'm one of the guys who could, if I get on something, I will talk about it. Hey, you want to know something?
Sure.
Here's it's really simple. Al and I are arguing. We've all failed. We failed this country. How can you put in a person like Trump who did all these bad things?
he's not viewed as a politician. That's
He
why
was
people turn to him.
awful what he did from
Okay.
women to.
Yeah.
We failed.
I'm going to go to a thing that he
Jim
understands.
Justice is it.
I'm going to go
Jim
to a,
Justice?
I'm going to go to a newspaper that he'll believe, the New York Times. Trump hails conservative and a new GOP governor.
35 out of 50 is pretty good.
Yeah,
governors.
not bad, huh? You know some?
What?
How come the
What?
Democrats?
What are you talking about?
35 governors are now Republican
Right.
versus 15 Democrats.
Yep.
That's pretty good.
Wait,
Yeah, right here, look.
Is this guy
Look.
dying of some disease
Right
or
here.
something?
See, you all got
He's
excuses.
dying of some disease.
Dying of liberalism.
Right.
So he's-
Somebody,
liberal.
somebody
I like
says,
that
we'll give you $1 million for your family
He's
if
been
you die.
he's been saved now. Look, right there. There he is with the governor.
Where?
That was last night. You still won't believe it. That's the New York
not,
Times.
That's Pence, for God's
Okay.
sake.
Pence.
You see, that's the idiotic.
That guy's wearing a mask. That's guy wearing
That's
a
the
mask.
West. See, that's what I deal with.
It's a Russian. I think that's a Russian.
That's
Yeah,
a Russian.
That's a Russian. Yeah, yeah, that's a Russian. There was all sorts of Russians in the house, right?
That's a Russian.
Did you listen to his speech last night?
Hey.
I did.
I thought he did a good job.
Oh,
here.
he
I-
did
if
a
I
good
were,
job. Lock her up, lock her up, lock
If
her
I
up.
were Trump's a communications guy, I would have him do like one of those rallies every 2 weeks.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, he just
At
that's
least, yeah.
his happy place.
Because what's going to happen is he's keeping the people motivated because he's letting them know what's going on. They're not getting it in the media.
You're
the
at
majority of those rallies, he's talking about jobs.
You're at 34%
What?
of the United States are for Trump. When you won, it was 38% of the United States. You lost 4%.
Wake up.
So you can get a bunch of nuts to come
You
in.
know something?
We'll get it
Wake
back.
up.
We'll get it
No,
back.
no. We don't even need the percentage, the low percentage of California,
Hey,
Massachusetts,
I
Connecticut, all these states. They don't count because the middle America all supported. He got the electoral
He
vote.
does
He won
so
many states.
good that the Boy Scouts next year want him back. I
No.
mean, he did such a great job with the
you
Boy
wanna know
Scouts.
something?
Did you watch the speech?
Yeah, I watched
Are
this
you
speech.
sure you watched the speech? Because what I heard was a lot of Boy Scouts chanting Trump. That was completely.
They're
That's right.
10 years
The
old.
liberal media,
That's like...
hey, the liberal media, because some people that are on their committee were Democrats.
Excuse me.
Right.
And they didn't like it.
Hold on a second. Are you using 10-year-olds, kids who can be influenced, agreeing
Like in our
with a
public schools, huh?
politician who
Like,
shouldn't even
hey,
be
you hear
talking
what he
about
just
stuff
said?
like this?
Let's get to the subject
10
of
years
public.
old. I think there's
since
other.
we're talking
wait a
about
minute.
influence,
I think
let's get to public schools.
I think other people have done that in the past. Let's raise the kids this small to get this big so they can carry a gun and agree.
Hey, so Trump
The
is
Boy
influencing.
Scouts.
So Trump is
you
influencing them
I mean,
young
Alan's going
minds.
to bring up a good point. You should
Hey,
listen to this. This
so
is
Trump
actually
is
a very valid
Trump
point.
is influencing them young minds. What's happening in our public schools?
There's a lot of
We're raising
of
liberals.
left-leaning sway.
What's happening in our
Our
colleges?
university.
What's happening in our universities?
Excuse
What?
me.
No, don't excuse. There's no
Excuse
excuse
me.
for you.
Why don't
What
you
is happening?
stay on one
I am.
place
I am on one
This is
place.
the same-
Same
of
issue.
him-
This is the same
of
issue.
him
So this is the
talking to the
See,
Boy
he just
Scouts?
wants to stay on Trump.
No, because
He just wants to stay on
Talking
Trump.
to the Boy Scouts of
You said-
America.
You
made the
said
point.
he's
You made
They not only
influenced.
don't want him
You
back,
said Trump is influenced. That's not true.
You made the point
That's not
that
true.
Trump was influencing young minds.
Right.
And
That's
then
what you
Al
said.
made the point.
10
that-
years old.
No, look, Al made
They-
the point that Trump was really playing from the Democrat playbook of indoctrinating the public school system and the university system.
Right.
which is
What's
a
going on in our
valid point.
university and public schools?
How
You're
can
raising
you
Democrats,
get
liberals,
from
safe spaces.
being gross
don't.
with the Boy Scouts
Gross.
to talking about
What did he say?
professors in college.
What did he say that was gross to the Boy Scouts?
I'm not bringing it up anymore.
Well,
love it.
we can say whatever we want on this
Yeah.
television show.
He throws out more garbage there. There was only
Well, okay,
some
here we
people
are,
on the Boy
okay.
Scouts
Hold
of
on.
America.
Hold
There
on.
was a few people on that committee that were Democrats
Right.
that was against it. They raised
No,
hell.
it was just like just a.
Okay, wait. I'm gonna
Hold on. While you're looking it up, I'm going to talk.
No,
to
no.
Al.
I'm gonna
Yeah.
ask
While
Siri.
you're,
talk to me.
I'm going to
No,
talk to
let-
Al while you're looking it
This
up.
never works.
Because he can't do two things at once.
You know what this reminds me of? This reminds me of when he went to Poland and got massive amounts of applause and cheers.
Hey,
the crowds
Siri.
were enormous.
Right.
And then all the media could talk
Hey,
about
Siri.
was some
Handshake.
Do the
no,
Boy
no, no,
Scouts
the
want
handshake
Trump
and the
back
unnamed
next
source
year?
saying that
And
Trump
were they
would only
mad
come
at
to
him?
Poland if the president would bus in all these
Wait a
people to
minute.
support him.
Right.
Rotten
You just
bag
can't ever give the
next
guy
year.
any type of
Not
credit.
at all. I
Might
agree.
be popular in a European country that doesn't want to be part of the EU.
Watch, you
anymore.
won't find nothing. Watch it.
Scottsdale.
Scottsdale.
This
Oh,
has
it was
never
Scottsdale.
worked.
So they,
Scottsdale to Rotten
so they
Bag.
welcomed.
Scottsdale.
Did it say they welcomed him back
No.
next year?
Rotten bag next year. And were
What?
they mad at him? Check it out. Scottsdale. This is. We've done this before.
I
It
don't
doesn't
know why
work.
you use it. I don't know why
no,
you use it.
No, it doesn't work for me. Last time, last time they said we were in outer space, and we probably were. All right, I am very, very happy. I've got to give. I know what Trump needed.
What do you need?
Trump knew what he needed because he said the best years of his life is when he was in military school. He said those were the best. That's where
'Cause it
he
straightened him
became
out.
the captain of the football, the flag bearer. He did everything. What he needed
He got hurt too.
was
there.
a general
But he got hurt.
to step up and say, Mr. President, this is how it's going to be run, period. And you want to know something?
What?
It's working out a lot better, isn't
But
it?
that's not.
He's
What?
calming down
How
a
do you
little,
know?
isn't he?
How do you know
Let's give it
that
a
that's
couple
what?
weeks.
How do you know that that's what that general said? Were you in the room?
Well, he
you-
fired Mooch.
Yeah. Okay.
He
How do you
turned
know?
around and
how do
told
you
the
know?
Secretary of State, your job is not
Hey,
in any trouble.
How do you know that the mooch wasn't brought in for a reason? How do you know that?
Other than to scare the bejesus out of the country, I don't know.
No.
That's right. That's why you brought
Because
it for a reason.
what happened?
You know
what happened
something.
what happened to the
You gotta
GOP
be public.
establishment? What happened to the GOP establishment? Pushed their way in like Priebus and Spicer.
Oh yeah, no, I mean they were gone. I mean
The
they-
mooch.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
Come on,
You-
let's tell me.
But-
I like to give the
but-
president credit where I can, but
Are you
scare Mooch.
No,
are you
wait,
aware, Bart?
Al,
Are you aware
Al.
that the GOP put in all their people in these different positions?
Al.
Spicer and
You know what I mean?
Renz.
Al,
Right.
your opinion about mooch?
He's a nutbag. That guy.
A nutbag.
I mean, he's got to be walking around with 2 pounds of cocaine at all times.
Okay. Yeah. And the president.
That was
Right.
the worst decision
And the
the president
president.
made, in my opinion.
Yeah, the worst decision.
I met the guy.
And the general came. Oh,
You
you
know,
met the
I
guy.
met
Did you
I
read?
met
him.
Did you read the
You met him.
I
You,
met
the
him.
article with?
Yeah.
you know
I
what
met him.
happened? What happened? You probably took some of that infestation that's in New Hampshire. Bad boy, you shouldn't have said that, and gave it to him because you said cocaine, right?
We don't have a cocaine.
There we
have a
go.
heroin
There
problem.
we go.
Right.
I'm telling
We
you.
have a drug problem here
All
in
right,
New
so
Hampshire. Accept the fact.
For Trump, I've got to say this
You're for
week.
Trump? This is excellent news.
For Trump this week, I'll give him a little credit. But the Boy Scouts of America.
That was 2 weeks ago, so
That's
this week he's doing
awful. Well, I haven't seen you for a while. Anyway, okay, what's taking place in New Hampshire?
Right now?
All right, we're in New Hampshire.
about time.
You're on your what? Second term?
Yeah.
Second term. You're on
My
your
sixth
term.
sixth term.
Sixth term. They fired you once.
Huh?
They fired you once, right?
No, never got fired.
Yeah, you missed 2 years, didn't you?
No, I never have.
You never missed
No,
2 years.
I've been up there 6 terms. I'm going on my 12th year.
Oh, good.
Okay.
All right, so.
Were you fired before?
So
Is that
what?
why?
No.
Why you asked that question?
Question: What's taking place in New Hampshire that makes you happy? That look, this is a great look. Like it's been a good summer. A lot of tourists are coming up. This looks like this is going to be really good.
No, I mean I love the summertime up here because it's short, so you have to know to enjoy it. So I spend a lot of time in the North Country up around Lincoln and stuff. So
Really?
yeah.
You have a place up there?
No, but hopefully someday that'd be great. So.
I've got a bill coming up. I thought I was going to get out of it. I have a bill coming up. I wish you would sign it. Anyone who does not show their taxes, I'm going to put it into,
Where's
show
this going?
their taxes to run for president. When
Yeah.
they don't show it, they cannot be signed in.
And let
up
me
here
ask
in
you a
New
question.
Hampshire.
Hey, you're an artist, right?
Bulls.
You're an artist.
Artist.
Are you an artist, right?
Excuse me. Oh, wait.
Wait.
Didn't he say he was going to do his taxes?
Ask him.
But
Ask him.
here's-
What happened to his
Hey,
taxes?
ask him about his taxes.
If there's anything damaging on Trump's taxes, don't you think that the deep state would have
Would have already
unmasked them
been- yeah,
by now? That's
already
the
had
reason
it.
we haven't seen them is because
That's right.
they're not damaging. I mean, you know that to be true.
You want to ask him how many pieces of art he sold?
How many pieces of art have you sold?
How much art have you sold?
What has
Have
that
you-
got to do with
Because
anything?
I want to see your taxes. What do you claim that is income?
We should change the law so if you want to run for
Yeah,
state rep, you have to show
because
your
I'm going to
You
do
don't
that.
want to see my taxes.
Yeah, I'm going to
No,
want to
he's
see
got
that.
that
But you see
side
what I'm
deal
saying?
with Senator French where they got that really expensive.
that art
French, you
piece,
bring
yeah.
French
Yeah,
in?
French.
Right.
Check out
Yeah,
French's taxes.
that's right.
That's-
Yeah, I think. Matter of fact,
Put together a
I'll amend,
bipartisan
hey,
committee.
I'll
French
amend
makes
that.
more than all of us.
I'll amend that bill
Yeah.
for legislators.
You will amend it.
Yeah.
Yeah, any
Yeah.
president. So it's okay not for him to show his taxes?
You know,
no
I wish
law. There's no
I wish
law.
he did, but there's
the
no law.
Wall.
You know, I wish he did,
What
but
was
there's
the wall?
The wall.
What about the
Wall.
wall? Have you ever been to
The
the wall?
wall.
Have you ever been to the wall?
No
Have you been there?
wall.
Do you know
Why don't you want a wall?
Oh, the wall.
Why don't
why?
you want a wall?
Because
Why
that's their
don't you?
voters.
Yeah, because
hey,
guess
that's their
what?
voters. That's why.
Guess what? Oh, Trump on a phone call goes, oh, please don't talk about the wall because politically it's going to hurt me over here.
You didn't
Mr.
hear.
President of
You know,
Mexico.
son, they expanded on that conversation. That's bull. You know, son, you two are more garbage. I don't know. Where do you come up with this stuff? I mean, you sit at home with your better half and like come up with this stuff? How can I lie today on TV?
Listen.
Do you do that?
No.
Do you?
No.
I believe his wife is the better half of that bill.
Listen.
I do enjoy your wife.
Trump happens to be the best thing that's ever happened to the Democrats.
Mark
and
my
the worst
word.
thing to ever happen to the Republicans.
In 4 years.
And you ought to know it.
You know,
He will-
there was a time I thought that same way about Barack Obama, and then he got reelected, and I was shocked. I didn't
I was shocked, too. That was the
Didn't think
worst
it's possible.
president. He was worse than Carter.
So I'm just
Obama.
saying, I think Trump has shown some resilience that you really should.
Resilience.
I mean, the guy
he's a
basically
tough-
beat 2 major political parties to become president of the
He
United
beat
States.
16 Republicans, and
what was the gap on like the final day? It was like a 6-point deficit to Hillary Clinton on
Yeah,
the final day of
that's right.
the campaign.
But see, those are all blown. If there was emails that come out by
You know,
WikiLeaks that said about them
what's-
working with
you
the
know what's-
poll people there
You know what's really
to show
bad?
that she's
You know what's really bad? Here's a billionaire walking
backfired on
around making fun of absolutely everyone, making comments
I make
about
fun of
women
you.
that you should be ashamed of.
Ken,
he
I
shouldn't
heard-
have even
Ken,
got in it.
Ken,
God as
Ken,
president.
I heard you
his
speak worse.
Speaking of
I've heard other people
F-words.
speak worse.
Boy Scouts,
Ken,
please.
Ken, you know
Al.
something? You're a saint, aren't you?
Thank you.
Are you a saint?
Yes.
Okay.
Saint Gidge.
You speak worse than he does. So
Yeah.
you know, who are you? Okay, going after
Yeah, wait till
Trump.
the Hollywood Access Ken Gidge video comes.
Oh,
out.
yeah.
People will be appalled.
That's right. But you know the one thing he did say that people took it out of context? They let me. They let me. You know, when I was young, I was a young, good-looking stud there. As a Marine, I went and dated many women. I sometimes dated 3, 4 different women in California.
See
different
that?
parts.
See that?
But I'm saying is, some of the things when you go on a date there leads into other things.
What,
You know
the
what I'm
hell
trying-
does that have to do with talking
because
about Trump?
what he said, they let me. The reporters took it out of context that he wants to grab and rape.
Well, he's also
You know what I
talking,
mean?
he's also
That was
talking about
locker room
chasing
test.
Grab women by the
chasing girls.
genitals and it's okay.
He's also talking about like chasing
Ken?
married women and stuff. Like I don't really think you can like excuse what he said. He's definitely someone that he has those demons. But so where I think Republicans are hypocritical is because we all went after Bill Clinton for his problems
Right.
in the '90s, and then when our
will,
candidates
will
like
you
that.
will you come every week with the you can and be a
But-
a
well, I'm just
no.
Ask him about the girl when he was married. The girl it was in publicity that he kissed. He was up on a pole there. He was protesting something there.
You're gonna cut
No,
the
wait.
film.
Ask him. Tell us that story.
On the flagpole.
Hey, tell us that story on
Kissing
the
somebody on a
flagpole.
flagpole.
Tell us that
Boy,
story.
I'd like to hear that story myself. I'm not telling you. I'm going to write it down.
Hey,
and make it up. Okay.
I'm serious. I'm being
Minute
honest.
and 40.
Hey, he was protesting something.
Okay.
He was up on a flagpole, and then some girl
All right.
wanted to kiss him.
This is gonna get edited.
Okay.
Yeah.
No, it's not going to
No,
get it.
because he knows it's true.
Okay, I'll tell
Am
you
I
what.
lying?
Can you come back next week?
Yeah, I can come back next week.
All right. Okay. Is it all right?
Am I lying? Yeah.
All
Matter of
right.
fact, I won't even be here
How-
next week.
You're not going to be here
No,
next week. Oh,
because I'm going to be
boy.
on. I'm leaving for the
Am I
Cape
gonna beat the
Thursday.
hell-
Okay.
All right. How can people get in touch with you?
Rep bartfromuth@gmail.com.
That's it? Do you have a website?
No, I took
Are
it
you
down.
on Facebook?
I took it down. It's an off year, so I don't want to pay for it.
Foot?
Huh?
Facebook?
I have Facebook.
Okay.
State Representative Bart Fromuth.
Okay. How can you get in touch with you?
I have a website, www.albaldasaro.com. I have 2 Facebooks account, 425-6997. I'm on Instagram. I'm on Twitter. I live at 41 Hall Road in Londonderry. Stop by my house. If you agree or disagree, whatever goes on here, I'll be willing to debate it with you.
All right. My name is Ken Gidge. You can get me
Ken has no contact information.
through. Do I have 40 seconds left? What do you mean it's a wrap? All right. You can get me through my website, okay? A Gidge World. But
That's an art
He's,
dealing
in,
website.
he's in his own world.
yes.
He's pushing his art on
yes,
this
I
show.
like, yes, Gidge World.
He's pushing his art.
And you're not pushing it, President. All right. One of the things that Al and I think we all agree upon is that this particular type of TV, public access, is the only place you can do this if you like it or not. The fact of the matter is,
This is how I prove he's a
Al
liar.
And this gentleman would agree.
You know what I'm
That's
saying?
it. Hey, thank you.
Hey, good to see you.
Thank you, Mr.
As
Fiction,
always.
and I'm the
As-
facts.
yeah.
It's a pleasure.
Yeah.
preceding program was provided by an independent producer solely responsible for its content. The opinions expressed do not necessarily represent the views of this station, its staff, board of directors, or underwriters.